Hello all, welcome to Machine Learning Easy Video 10. So this is my 10th video. So if you want to learn machine learning easily, follow from my first video. So I am discussing everything related to machine learning from my first video. This is the 10th video in the series of these videos. So in the previous video, we finished the handling categorical data. Okay, so first we started with the machine learning introduction in the first video, and later we discussed what are different types of machine learning algorithms, and later we enter into data pre-processing. And in data pre-processing, how to handle missing data we discussed, and also experimentation with R programming is done. Similarly, how to handle categorical data, what is the need of handling categorical data is also discussed in RStudio. And I also explained how to install R and RStudio. So those who are watching this video first time, so please watch the previous videos, the links are provided below. Now in this video, I am discussing outlier detection. So how to detect outliers and how to eliminate the outliers using R programming we will see in this video. Okay. So outlier detection. What is an outlier? So outliers are the extreme values, and these values deviates the original data from the other observations. So what does it mean? For example, you are having age column in your data set, for example. So most of the ages are in between 30 and 40, but only some ages, very few ages are at 85 and 90. Those are nothing but the outliers. So most of the values are in 30 and 40, but only very few values are in the range of some 80 to 90 or 70 to 80. What happens? While analyzing the your model, or while analyzing the your data, your model cannot able to capture the true patterns. So if all the values are within one range, then it is very easy for our algorithm to predict or classify. Of course, we will see the problem with the outliers in later sessions while we discuss the actual machine learning algorithms. But this is really a problem, that is outlier. So it is an observation that diverges from overall pattern on a sample. As I told you, all the ages are in 30 to 40, but that is at 80. So the diverges the overall pattern. So this is all, these all ages are in one range, but that is having another value. So that is definitely considered as an outlier. Consider this graph. For example, all these values are here, these values are here, these values. But you observe this red point. So this is not close to any of these data points. For example, if it is close to here, you may consider the value like this. Or if it is here, you may consider like this. If it is here, you may consider. But this red point is somewhere else, and that does not belong to any of these group. I may call it as a group. Of course, you can remove circles also. You can easily observe this point is somewhere and not near to any one of these values. So this is the outlier here. Okay. So outlier detection in R. Okay. So for this, I am showing one data set example from the Kaggle. So actually in any one of my previous video, actually how to download data set, how to use data set, I have not shown. I just used one sample data set with 10 rows and 10 columns. But number of data sets for machine learning are available from various data set repositories like USA repository, Kaggle repository, etc. So I am giving the link for downloading this data set. So try to click on this data set and open this data set. Now you will see this is the data set. Just download it and see it. So the data set is downloaded. So just open it. So observe this data set. So this is a real-time data set where I downloaded from Kaggle. So Kaggle is a machine learning repository. So most of the data sets are available in Kaggle. So I downloaded one data set from the Kaggle for our experiments. Okay. Now try to see this data set. So what are the column names here: age, sex, BMI, children, smoker, region, charges. These are the different variables or features, attributes. And now we will try to see what are outliers in the data set and how to handle the outliers. We will see. So can anyone tell me what is the dependent variable and what is the independent variable in this data set? I discussed dependent and independent variables in my previous videos also. See, some information is available here. What is the data set name? Medical cost personal data sets. Okay, insurance forecast by linear regression. Okay, leave it. We will see the linear regression in our later videos. Here, medical cost. That means here the charges is nothing but the medical cost. So here, this is the dependent variable. So those who don't know what is independent variable, please watch my previous videos. Can easily understand. So because why it is a dependent variable? Because based on age, sex, BMI, children, number of children, and whether he is smoker or not, and region. Based on all these, we are predicting medical charges of a person. For example, a person with age 19 and female with BMI 27.9 having 0 children, and yes, she is a smoker, and her region is southwest. Then we will predict the charges 16,884 like this. So this is the given data set. All these are independent variables. This is dependent variable. Of course, this is not necessary here. We are dealing with the outliers. Independent and dependent variables are not required. But we will see how to handle this in R. Okay. So coming back to our presentation. So this is the data set which I shown you in the Excel sheet. Okay. So now first we need to load our data set into RStudio. Okay. So how to load our data set? Simply use read.csv dataset name. And later see use hist. Hist means nothing but which is used to show the histogram of our data. So D is our data set name now because I loaded my data set into an object called D. Dollar is the symbol which is used to show the particular, it shows a particular attribute. For example, consider the BMI. So if you type this command, okay, I will show you the execution, but see what is the output. So this is the output. That means it shows the values, how the values are there in your data set, the BMI value. Similarly, if you see hist of D dollar charges, that means that this like see some values are high at this range, some values are low. That means you can find the difference. Here you will see most of the values are in this way. So this is a good sign actually. And here some values are high, some values are low. So that is the information we are gaining from this histogram. Similarly, there is another beautiful measure called as box plot, actually which shows outlier for us. Okay, so I am seeing only box plot for these charges. Box plot D dollar charges and horizontal is equal to 2. So to see the visualization in a easier way, I used horizontal is equal to D. Now it shows like this. See, here these values are nothing but the charges values. And what are the circles actually? These circles are nothing but the outlier values. That means most of the values, charger values, are in this range to this range. Okay, that is 10,000 to 35,000. But only some few values are above 35,000. So these are the outliers. So okay, so this box plot is enough for you for us to identify the outliers in the data set. So similarly, in case of charges, we will use BMI and you can also use age. You can find outliers in each column separately by draw a box plot. Okay. So now we will try to see in the RStudio how to see this, and later we come back and see how to handle it. Okay. So first you need to set your working directory. As I told you how to set the working directory. So just click on these three dots and set the working directory where your data set contains. For example, my data set is in this folder, data processing folder. And next click on set as working directory. So how to set the working directory also I explained in the previous videos. Just go and watch. Okay. So now my current directory is this directory. So now try to execute this program. So I cleared everything. Now see D is equal to insurance.csv, run it. See D is open. So the same data set which we seen in this Excel sheet is the data set I opened in RStudio. So which is having 1338 observation with 7 variables. Okay. Now as I told you, so try to see the histogram of BMI. Run it. See, this is the histogram plot. That means these are the values, BMI values and the frequency. And see, this is like a distribution. This is normal distribution. So actually there are normal distribution, Gaussian distribution, both are same actually. So there are other distribution, Bernoulli distribution. How your data is distributed, you can see with the histogram. Okay. Okay, now see charges, histogram of charges. See, these are the values. Actually, in this range, there are the more values, and after that, only less are there. So, see, for example, if I want to apply the box plot for whole data set, is it possible? All the category variables are there. What are the categorical variables? I explained the category variable also in the previous video. The variables which is not having numbers. For example, if you consider sex, female and male, those two are not numbers. Smoker, yes, no, not numbers. Region, southwest, not numbers. So to draw box plot, we need to have values. So I am removing this sex column, BMI, sorry, not BMI, smoker column and region column. What are the column numbers? This is 1, 2, 5, 6. So in Python, actually, the index starts with 0, but here in R, it starts with 1. So 2, 5, 6 columns I am removing. So to handle with only the numbers, okay. So 2, 5, 6. How to remove a particular column in your R programming is simply use minus C. Okay. So data set, another name I am giving is equal to D of minus 256. Now open D, it contains all, but if you open data set, only numbers, age, BMI, children, charges. So I removed the categorical features. Okay. Why you removed? Yes, for analyzing or for seeing whole box plot for the data set, because now all these are numbers. See here, if you see as a whole, age, BMI, children and charges, this is having some outliers. Okay, so if you see only box plot for BMI, then you can see the values above 47 and 45 like these are outliers. That means all the BMI values are in the range between this bar 10 and above 50 like this, but only few values are above 47 or 46 like this. So these are outliers. So you need to remove these. So what happened if you use these values in your ML algorithm, yes, your accuracy or your performance degradation may be happen. That's why you need to remove these outlier values. Okay, you can see the summary of this data set BMI value. Now you will get these values. What is this first QQ, median, mean, third QQ, etc. Okay, so how to see the outliers is very simple. For example, if I want to see the outliers values in the charges, how can I give? In the place of BMI, just type charges. So select and run. See in the charges also, see here, this is the range defined. So above some 50,000, this is a 50,000. So above 50,000 values can be considered. Only few values are having a charges value greater than 50,000. So if you remove those, then your analysis is good and you will get good results. Okay, so you can apply it to any variable which is having their numbers. So first I removed the variables which are categories. Means gender is not a number, and here smoker SR is not a number, region. So I removed those three and try to draw the box plot for the remaining and find the outliers. Now, for example, we will try to remove outliers. How to remove outliers? So, what is the way to remove outliers? So, one simple solution is, see, for example, if you consider the BMI box plot, so the values greater than 45, you remove, just you open Excel sheet, you put filter and remove the all the rows in which DMI greater than 45. If you want to apply the same technique to charges also, so just above the greater than above 50,000. So like this is the border, you may think it as or 40,000 above values above 40,000. Put filter and observe the rows and remove them. Okay, but you can also do it in the R. But above the value, removing the above value is also not a solution. For that, actually, we are having the formula. So, what is the minimum value and what is the maximum value we need to get? So, sometimes it is also possible below values are also outliers. Only few values are in the range here, and the number of other values are in this range. Then what happened in such situation? The values below some value may be treated as outliers. Don't think already in this example they are having above 50,000 as outliers. But in some cases below 10,000 may be also outliers. So you need to find what is the minimum value to keep and what is the maximum value to keep. You need to find these two values. So below minimum value, remove them, and above the maximum value, remove them, and keep the values between this below and above. So how to find this below cutoff and above cutoff? So for this, I need to tell some mathematics now. Okay. So try to listen carefully. We will come back again. So now I am introducing a concept called quartiles. So what are these quartiles? Very simple. These are used to divide your data into quarters. Okay, quarters, you know that, for example, 25%, 50%, 75, 100%. That is nothing but the quarter. So Q1 or quartile 1 can be also called as 25th percentile. Similarly, Q2 is nothing but 50th percentile. Q3 is 75th percentile. So these four quartiles actually next after 75th 100%. The four quartiles divides the data into quartiles. For example, see the lowest 25% and next lowest 25%, second highest 25%, and the highest 25%. Okay, no need to confuse what is this. I will explain with an example. See, for example, these are the values -3, -2, -1, 0, 1, 2, 3. If you put in the scale, it's -3, -2, -1, 0, 1, 2, 3. So here now you will see. So these are in first quartile. Okay, if we divide it into four parts, this is the first part, first quartile. This is second quartile, third quartile, and fourth quartile. So these set of numbers are divided into four quartiles here. So why we are studying all these quartiles, I will explain. After 5 to 10 minutes, you can realize what is the necessary of these quartiles. Okay, so now try to analyze more. For example, these are the numbers given. How to calculate the quartiles? Okay, see, first you need to arrange your data in ascending order. Okay, so these variable values are arranged in ascending order. Now, for example, how many numbers are these? These are the 3, 6, 9, and 12. So 12 means here after 3, this is the first quartile or Q1. So after next 3, second quartile, next 3, third. Very simple because these are 12 numbers. 12 by 4, 3, 3, 3. If it is an even number, if it is an odd number 13, you may consider the average for those two. Okay, but this is even number 12. So 12 by 4 is 3. That means first 3, after first 3, first quartile, and next second quartile and third quartile. But how to calculate the quartile? Very simple. So you will take this 12 and 14. So take the average. 12 plus 14 by 2 gives 13. So for these whole numbers, 13 is the Q1 or the first quartile. Similarly, average of this 22 and 25 is middle quartile or second quartile. This is also called median. What is the median? If you write all the variables values from lowest to highest, the middle value is the nothing but median. So the median is nothing but second quartile. Similarly, consider this 36, 42. So you will take average, that is third quartile. So it is very simple, divided by 4 actually, and put some marks. So the first mark is the first quartile, average of these two, and the second mark, average of these two, second quartile. Third mark, average of these two is the third quartile. These three are called Q1, Q2, Q3. And IQR, interquartile range, is nothing but upper quartile minus lower quartile. This is upper quartile, this is lower quartile. If you subtract this upper quartile minus lower quartile, you will get interquartile range. So I will explain what is interquartile range. But this is interquartile range. The formula is Q3 minus Q1. In this case, 39 minus 31. Okay. So now what we learned up to now. So this is the thing which I explained in the earlier slides. So 4 parts actually 100%. Then after first 25% we call it as Q1, and next 25th we call it as Q2, which is nothing but the middle actually. That's why it is the median. And after 25th, that is after 75%, we call it as third quartile. Okay, and interquartile range is nothing but Q3 value minus Q1. Okay, this is the summary. Q1, Q2, Q3, Q3 minus Q1. What is this IQR actually? Why this IQR is used here? This IQR is used to tell us how your data is spread, because this IQR is a measure of how the data is spread around the mean. Okay, that it tells. That's why we need to take how your age values are spread, how your BMI values are spread. So those can be identified. Based on that, you can find the outliers. How to find the outliers? Of course, most of you may be confused with the formulas whichever I discussed from the 10 minutes. Not a problem. So to find outliers in machine learning, simply now I will give a formula. You just remember that formula and apply blindly. Okay, because the formula is same for any data set. What is that formula? See, the data points which fall below this formula Q1 minus 1.5 into IQR are above Q3 plus 1.5 into IQR are outliers. That means, as I told you, we need to find the below benchmark and above benchmark. So what is the formula for below benchmark? Q1 minus 1.5 into IQR. What is the formula for above benchmark? Q3 plus 1.5 into IQR. So luckily it is very easy for us to compute this Q1, Q3, IQR in R. No need to calculate manually. Okay, so you simply calculate and use these formulas to find the minimum value and maximum value. Okay, so now I will try to show the execution for our example. Now we will move on to our example. So consider this example. For BMI, for example, now I want to calculate the minimum and maximum bound. See, just use this summary of data set $BMI, run it. Check this output. It gives all the values. First quartile Q1 is 26.3. Median value is 30.40. Mean value is 30.6. Mean is average. Median is median value. Third quartile is 34.69. Maximum value is 53. So now what is interquartile range? The formula, in the formula we are using IQR. So how to get IQR? See, it is very simple. So IQR is equal to, what is the formula? Q3 minus Q1. So as you already know the value of Q3 and Q1, see here Q3 is 34.69, third quartile. So 34.69. So I am using this formula Q3 34.69 minus Q1 is 26.30. So this is nothing but Q3 minus Q1. So put a comment. This is Q3 minus Q1. So I calculated IQR for BMI variable. So just run it. What is this value? See here on the right hand side, this is 8.39. So 8.39 is the IQR value. So now you will calculate this formula to find the minimum value to keep in data set and apply this formula to find the maximum value to keep in our data set. Below this formula, remove, and above this formula, remove. So how to do it? See, I told you benchmark. So I consider maximum benchmark. So you may also write it as max benchmark. Okay. So in the below, actually there are no outliers for the BMI also. So I am not considering. Of course, you can also do it. I am considering above benchmark. So max benchmark. Okay. So what is the formula we use? Same formula. Q3 plus 1.5 IQR. So what is Q3? 34.69. See here. plus 1.5 into IQR I calculated above IQR BMI. So run this line, we get maximum benchmark value. See here, this is 47.275. Observe here. So 40 above 47.725 values are outliers in this BMI feature. So you remove the values above 47.275, then all the other variables are in the same range and your model predicts in a better way. Okay, so that we will discuss the how your model works in the next videos. But now you find the above benchmark for this particular variable. Now you can do it in another way. You just open Excel sheet and put filter and remove the values above 47.275 for the BMI. But you can also do it here. Okay, how to do it? The value we got is 47.275. See, here I used a method called subset. So what is subset? See, I am using another variable D2. I'm taking this another variable object D2. In the D2 subset of the data set. Data set is nothing but this whole data set actually. With only 4 variables, integer 4 variables. Now we are having age, BMI, children, and charges in this data set. Okay. So just use the condition. What is the condition? BMI less than or equal to 47.275. What does it mean? In my data set, keep the values or the keep the rows in which only BMI value less than 47.275. That is the meaning. What does it mean? This line remove all the lines where the BMI value greater than 47.275. That is the meaning. So for remaining age and the charges, I am not applying. So all the remaining values not changed. So if you open D2 data set, first see it. So in this only the values less than 47.275 are kept and the remaining other rows are deleted. So this is a simple single line. With this you can do it. Of course, if you don't know the R programming, in Excel sheet also you will do it. Okay. So I am running it, run it, and now see the D2 and data set you observe. So what is the data set? 1338 observations. But in D2 only 1329. That means some rows are removed. If you open D2, now you will check it. In D2 there is no row with the BM value greater than 47.275. So you can also see it by using this command. What is this command? See, if I want to show you the output, I will show you in the Excel sheet. That means now I am saving this data set into an Excel file CSV. For that, we used write.csv. Write.csv has also explained in my previous videos. What is this write.csv? So after applying all these modifications, your actual data set not modified actually. If you want to get another CSV file, just use write.csv d2 to this modified insurance.csv. Run it, and a CSV file is created in your folder. Where it is created? Where is your program? Go to that folder and open it. You will find that Excel file. So see here, modified insurance.csv. Now you will see if you put filter for the BMI value. See, there is no value above 47.725 because after the benchmark, all the variables are removed. Actually, below benchmark is also set, but I am not using below benchmark. You can, if you want to use, you use it also. Not a problem. Using condition and condition in R program. Okay, and open the original data set also. What is my original data set? I use the insurance data set. So if you put filter for your BMI variable and see the values, so here above 47 are also there. That means 53, 48, etc. are there. Okay, so simply we removed the outliers using this IQR and Q1, Q2, K3. Okay, similarly, now after this, after applying the values or removing the outliers, once again try to plot it. You can also observe is there any outliers or not. Okay, so just plot it. How to plot? Box plot, same syntax. Just run it. See, observe this carefully. So before removing the outlets, this is the graph. Now run it and see the plot. But we need to run it for D2, not data set, because we stored the values in D2. Run it. So run D2. See, there are no outlets. So if you open these two figures, you can observe in the data set some outlets are there. So in D2, there are no more outlets. Okay. So in this way, you can apply this method to each and every column in our data set. Initially, we will see the whole data set with the box plot, and later you identify. Actually, there is no end for the finding the outlet detection. But if you get the less accuracy or less performance, you will try to find a way to remove these outlets. Okay, this is the way to find and remove the outlets in RStudio. Okay, so I think now you got an idea how to find the outlets and remove the outlets. So I am closing this video. In the next video, we will see how to handle the feature scaling. That means how to handle one more technique, that is also a data pre-processing technique. If you like this video, just put a like and also subscribe my channel. And to watch the remaining videos in the series of ML videos, the links are given below, and the later video links are also given below. Thank you for watching. Thank you.